Welcome to the channel. Let's discuss Joe Tessitore's first night on Raw, now that I've had a chance to sit on it for roughly 48 hours. The people of the IWC, which, by the way, up until a few moments ago, I didn't know who that was. I thought that was some kind of like wrestling promotion. I was like, there's another one? It's just the internet wrestling community. Apparently, I'm a part of that community. Apparently, I'm a part of the same community that's been both praising and or crucifying him. I truly believe that the small criticisms that are made to him are valid. And it's really not a big deal if you don't agree. That's the other thing I never understand is people getting all bent out of shape if they don't agree with somebody else. I've talked about this on my political channel, which normally that gets really heated, but wrestling can get really heated as well. My number one complaint about Joe Tessitore is the volume of his voice. If you listen to good old JR, Jim Ross, if you listen to Vince McMahon, just talking in a soft voice, oh, and the elbow drop right across the chest. Just like speaking without getting all like hog wild and stuff. You can hear them clearly. When he was getting slightly exhilarated, you could hear him much better. So there were times where he was speaking and it sounded like he was mumbling. I don't know what's going to happen there, but Drew McIntyre is out right now. What? Did he have a stroke? Obviously, I didn't think that. I'm just saying and that's not necessarily a fault of his own, but he can easily rectify that by just simply speaking with a little more oomph. I'm not asking him to change his personality. I think he's fine. He's like a Mauro Ranallo without the turbo. Okay, I don't know what this is, but without the turbo. And that's not a bad thing, because I felt like when he was getting a little bit excited, it was fine. Another part of the commentary that I thought was really interesting, and I actually liked it, and I don't know if people picked up on it. It's actually when Drew McIntyre came out, the hooded assailant. I mean, when we saw him, we knew it was Drew McIntyre. You could just tell. Normally, commentators would be like, oh my God, who is it? Bitch, we know who it is. So he just kind of went right away and was like, Drew McIntyre is out here now. I thought that was fine. People were criticizing him for doing that. I think it was a little bit unique. I felt the back and forth with Wade Barrett sometimes was a little bit off, but that has nothing to do with skill, talent. It's synergy. Some people are just going to do better together. Look at, to me, in my humble opinion, the epitome of good synergy is Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon during the Attitude Era when they had their little skit thing. The synergy that they had was insane. Shawn Michaels and Bret the Hitman Hart. Iron Man match. Ladder match. Like, what the hell? Absolutely insane. So I don't want him to change. I don't want him to go about his routine any different. I just want him to speak the fuck up just a little bit more. He doesn't have to get all like me. I'm like a mix between Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, minus the talent. I mean, in terms of the energy. I got a goddamn thunderstorm purposely playing in the background because I don't like dead silence. Even though you'll never really hear dead silence with me because I can't shut the hell up for even 2.5 seconds. That was a record right there. But I have it as such so that even when I'm talking normally and I'm not getting excited, you can clearly hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. You're not squinting your eyes like some people do and then turning their head sideways, hoping that the sound waves penetrate their eardrum a little bit better. They might be able to focus and hear what's being said. You shouldn't have to do that. That's my only real complaint is the volume, not so much the lack of overall excitement. I think people are just used to seeing Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, which, by the way, Normally, I wouldn't like that pair up. People are going, what? Well, because they're both technically kind of face. Pat McAfee sometimes gets a little sort of kind of heelish. And I've talked about this before. It's the same with Corey Graves and Wade Barrett. How they're both kind of like, I don't know. They work well together. But I miss the days of a true heel commentator. Like when Corey Graves... No, sorry. When... It'll come to me. When Wade Barrett approached Drew, speaking of Drew, the hooded assailant on CM Punk on Monday night, tried to stop him. Had that been Jesse the Body Ventura, he would have been like, he had it coming, gorilla. I mean, his name is Punk. What do you expect? That's how you treat a punk. You put him down, gorilla. Terrible impression. I wasn't trying to impersonate him. But my point is, I really miss that if we're going to start talking about commentary. This guy seems like a, and this is a compliment, like a Jim Ross in the sense of like your true color commentator, play-by-play, and you're basically face, if you will. And to me, Wade Barrett and Corey Graves really, really do best at being more heel-like, not so... Although I have to admit, when Wade and Corey Graves kind of get a little... I call it face-like, if you know what I mean by that. I have to admit, it's still pretty good. Like, they're good at doing it. I remember when Michael Cole was heel, and then Jerry Lawler had his heart attack, and then boom, that switched him. I know I'm kind of ranting here, but hopefully I kind of got to the point fairly quickly, which was that I just need his microphone to go up a little bit, or for him to speak a little louder. I don't think that should be a big deal. Like, it's not like some big drastic change. And apart from that, it's just going to take time getting in that routine. It's like a new relationship. It's a little bit weird. It's exciting. But then once it becomes like an old pair of shoes, you just fit right in and it's comfortable. I truly believe that the bouncing back and forth is going to be fine. Don't forget, this guy's a professional. He's called a different multitude of sports. He knows what he's doing. This is just slightly new territory. I even highly doubt he had cold feet, to be honest. So I'm excited to see where this is going to go. And where it is going to go is the following. So we've got Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore on Raw. And in the meantime, we have Corey Graves with Michael Cole on SmackDown. Remember that in January, I almost said in Netflix. Well, in with the Netflix deal is how I was thinking. In January, sometime in January, very, very super early February, whenever that thing is happening, let's go to this picture. Okay? So they're on SmackDown. They're on Raw. Okay. Come the Netflix deal, I'm sorry. I'm really tired. Michael Cole, and he's not in the picture here. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are going back to Raw. These two are going to be the main commentary team on SmackDown. But where's Wade going? That's what I want to know. I feel like maybe you could do with a 3-man commentary team. I don't know. I really, really don't know. Him and Pat McAfee just work. They're like magic. Could we have this team laid out the way it is? Joe Tessitore in the middle. I say the Jim Ross, the good guy is what I mean by that. He's his own person. And then have... I don't know. Would two heel... I don't know. I'm having a really hard time. Like, I remember when we had JBL, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton. It was like two faces, and then JBL was the one heel. Oh, you guys are ridiculous. Could we flip it the other way around and have two heels? And of one... I know I'm overlooking it, but I'm legitimately curious. I don't know what's happening to the SmackDown team. And every time I look up different articles, and I've been researching this a lot longer than I want to admit, I can't find anything on what the future is supposed to be for the SmackDown team. I know Corey Graves is sure as hell not going anywhere. Obviously, Joe Tessitore's not going anywhere. I'm not saying it's obvious that he's going away. I just don't know. I really just hope that they don't really do the three-man team. And I've talked about that a little bit before. I feel like if it's done really well, which I've seen it happen a few times, it can work well. And each person can get a lot of equal words in, if that makes any sense. I feel like the bouncing back and forth, like I said, can be something that is a little bit hard to teach. How do they know not to cut each other off? I've looked into that as well. I still don't really know the magic behind it, how they do it. I feel it's like just having a real conversation. Maybe you are looking at your partner. Maybe you're watching them speak on the I don't know how it all works out, but they do a pretty damn phenomenal job of not cutting each other off. And when they're having heated discussions, or not even a heated discussion between the commentators, and they're just saying something, how does the other person who now comes in to say something know that the other guy was done with his line or whatever? I find that pretty magical. So if you throw in a third person, I just feel like the overall package presentation, I don't know, for me it would make it harder. But like I said, I found it worked well with Byron Saxton, Michael Cole, and JBL. I know this is a little bit of a rant and I kind of went all over the place, but the main takeaway, again, was I'm okay with Joe Tessitore. I enjoyed him. I just want him to speak a little bit louder, and I don't want him to change. I want him to remain true to who he is, have his personality shine out so he can be not constantly compared to other people. But his voice, yes, I couldn't help, and so did other people. So naturally, there's some truth there. From a voice perspective, vocally, yeah, he totally, sort of, kind of reminds me of Amaro Geraldo, whatever the hell his name was. I liked him too a lot. So there you have it. What did you think? Thumbs up, as always, if you liked the video. It does greatly help support that channel with the algorithm and trying to make me more relevant in search results when people are looking shit up. And if you didn't like the video, well, let's just do goddamn bad. Go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half and twist it. You'll get the Solo Sakoan spike in the rectum. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.